Hey everybody, welcome to Mark the Point. Boy, do I have an update for you. I have made on my last two trips at the craps table between going to Biloxi, Mississippi, at the Hard Rock, and going on my past cruise. I was on the Carnival Celebration for 7 days. I have slayed the tables, guys. I have taken the craps tables by storm, and I've basically played every system that you can play out there on the light side. I never played one dark side bet, not even one. Everything I did was on the light side, and all I did was win a lot. And I'm going to tell you how I did it and kind of give you a little bit of update along the way of how I did. So in Biloxi, I learned a fun little system. Gargoil is a really good friend of mine in the YouTube community. I met him in Biloxi. I've talked to him several times across the YouTubes and across different chat groups. And I rolled out his system that he plays, or this betting strategy that he plays. And I actually rolled that in my video. So if you want to roll a video out, so if you want to check that out, I'll link it here above. That is the Gargoyle. It's actually done really, really well so far. I played that system in Biloxi, and I did really well. Now, to give you a brief illustration of what he does on the Gargoyle, so basically he goes to 4 and 10. He goes at $35 each, and then he does 110 inside. So it's going to look just like this right here, 110 inside. We are going to get the point established. It's going to be on the, let's just say it's on the 9. We're going to triple lux everything. This is the Gargoyle, right? I've rolled out that video. But let's just say it's on the 5. It rolls a 5. That's going to pay us 35. We can collect the $10, go to 50. If it goes again, that pays us 70. Go straight to 100. Collect some more. Now, if it hits one more time, it pays us 140. And at that point in time, you're out, almost out the entire hand. This is a 180 spread, but you're basically out. But you're going to triple lux everything. You do the same thing with a 4 and 10. 35 actually goes straight up, pays 70. It goes straight up to 100. And if it hits again, it goes straight to 300. If it hits again, you're going to collect $600 just off that hit. Now, that is the Gargoyle. I played a variation of that on my cruise, but I'm going to show you a little bit different what I did. Not what just that one. I played a lot of different strategies. Within strategies, I did a little bit of a team play as well. So my wife, Lady Mark the Point, was also on the cruise with me, and we played a tag team type system. So basically, what was going on is I didn't need to spread the whole table because I didn't need to put all the money out there. But what I would do is I would play the 4 and 10. I started off at $50 levels, and Lady Mark the Point would actually go either 330 or 220 inside. Let's just start off at 330, which is basically 75, 90, and 75. So each of these is going to be 90 bets here. Okay, so here's what we did. This was our spread across. So basically, I had 330 on the inside, and I had myself at $50 on the 4 and 10. Now, if she got a hit, she would collect. That 90 would pay us $105. Okay. And she would wait one more hit. So she did two hits on the inside. That paid us another $105. So now she had 210 in her rack. And then she'd tell the dealers, take me down to 220. So what they would do is they would take her down to 220, just like this. And so she would collect this money, which is 110 back plus here. So now basically you got 1, 2, 3, you got 320 back into your rack, which is almost your entire investment just on the inside. And now you got $220 bets working for you. At that point in time, we did single presses. And I say single presses, in this case, it's at a $quarter level. So the 6 would go straight to 90. That's a $60 bet. That would pay us 70. So it would go to a $90 bet. So it'd go just like this right here. And then she'd collect the rest just like that. If it's a 5, she do the same things. 50, it'd pay us 70. And I ran out of greens, but just to show you, it'd pay us 70. It would go straight to 75, and then she'd collect the rest like that. Now, that's what we did on the inside. Now, I played it a little bit more aggressive on the outside, okay? Let me show you what I did. So if an outside bet hits on the 4 or the 10, that's a $50 bet. And of course, these are buy bets, so it would cost you a few dollars to be able to put those bets out there. In this case, it would pay me $100. But how I would do it is, and let's go and grab these greens back here. Now I got some more greens to work with. So what would happen is that $50 bet would pay me 100. I told him let's press both bets. Now this is a little bit different than the Gargoyle because he pressed the individual bet where both this whole entire 100 would go on it. I split it up. Okay, I split it up to make both bets go to 100. Now, again, that would cost you a vig. In this case, how they do it, they combine both bets together, and so it costs you $7 to do that vig. Now, if it hit again, it would pay me $200 because let's just say a four. That's $100 bet. It would pay me $200. Now, I had options. If I was light in my rack and I wasn't up or just maybe break even, I'd probably go ahead and collect that $200. However, at any point in time, if I was up in my rack, let's see 100 to 200 or whatever it is, I pressed it one more time and I went to a $200 bet. So now I'm at $200 on two hits, either the four or the 10. It doesn't matter because I pressed them up together. So I have a $200 bet. At that point in time, if either one hit for a third time, all you need is three rolls of the four or the 10, which I'm telling you guys, this is how I made money. So you can't say in the comments that's rare. It doesn't happen because I did this repeatedly again and again and again. This is how I made a ton of money. So now that bet would pay me $400. And at that point in time, I had the option of pulling both of these bets down, putting $600 in my rack, leaving out there for $100 each, which is still more than my original investment. And I had $600 in the bank. But it depended how aggressive I wanted to be because there was a lot of times I left those $200 out there. I collected the $400 that went back to my rack, and then I waited for another press. If it hit again, it happened several times. I had these bets over $500 many times. I hit it once and I hit it at $400 many times. So if it hit again, that paid me another $400. I would go ahead and press it one more time to a $300 bet, just like this. And if it hit again, it paid me $600. What would I do? I'd press it again to 400. I did this continuously and I brought these black chips. Guys, I made thousands and thousands. I'm actually going to show you a picture. I made $12,000 in one night. Count all the purples that's in my hand. That was not a expected win, but it happened, guys. But this isn't the only system I played. Remember, I told you I did several different things. What else did I do? Let me show you another way I played just because I want to show you every different scenario that rolled out. Because believe it or not, I love the systems play. I love starting to a strategy or playing a strategy. But when you're at a table and you had the live dice rolling, strategies kind of go out the window a little bit and you play more of a feeling. What is your feeling? How are you wanting to play these bets? So there got to a time where, if in case you know me at all, I love playing hard ways. I love playing hard ways and I love playing the hardway parlay. So what I would do is I would start off at $5 on the hardways. Now my wife was playing the inside bets, so either she would go from a 320 two hits to go to 220, or if we were light, didn't want to play really aggressive because the table wasn't going well, she'd start at 220 two hits and go to 110. But I found because I wasn't playing the 6 and 8, I was only playing the 4 and 10s, and I kind of like giving out my money. And my wife didn't like giving away her money every time I lost an easy way or I lost my hard way because the easy way rolled or a seven. So basically, what I started doing was I started playing myself at $30 levels. So this right here. So then that way, if I hit a easy six or excuse me an easy eight, I would lose this bet. It'd pay me $35. I'd go ahead and place it there. I would always collect the first one that collected. So I replaced my hard way. That was a 10. But anyways, that's an 8. I would collect my hard way and I would replace it and this year get back in my rack. Now, if it hit again the second time, that $30 bet, basically what I would do is I'd press it all the way up. I'd make it look like 60. So now it's a $60 bet. Let's make it look right. And I would again replace the hard way. This is 8. I'd put it back out there. But in this case, now that I have a $10 cap, I was then going up for a $10 bet. So now it's at $10 on the 8 because I have enough cap to cover it. Because that's 10 here, I go 10 here. Well, you can explain what do I do next? If I go up again to a $90 bet, so that would pay 70. If I went to a $90 bet, you got to believe what I would do is I would go up to a $15 level. So now I'm at $15 levels. I would incrementally bet this higher with the hard ways because now every time I hit this, let's just say let's at a $10 level. I'm gonna show you what it looked like. If I hit it at the $10 level, this hard way would actually pay me $90. Okay, it'd pay me 90, and what I would do is I'd parlay that bet. So that's all quarters. So now I have a $100 bet on the 8. So again, it pays for that. I parlay that bet, And guys, I love the Hardway parlays. I love it. I love it because if that hits again, that nine at $100, that pays me $900. I don't even know if that's $900, but that's what it pays me. It pays me $900, and now I'd either keep it at 100, or if I felt like I wanted to, I'd go back up to 150. Okay, but let's pull this all back. Let me show you one more time. I'm at a $90 bet. Okay, I've got $15 on there. Once I went to a $120 bet, so that would pay me 105. Once I went up to a $120 bet, let's pull these over. Now I'm at a quarter level. Now I'm not quite at a quarter here, but it made sense for me to put at a quarter level. Let me tell you why. Would actually pay me $225. Okay, it'd pay me $225. That's 225. What I would do is I would take that $75 and make it $100 bet, and then I would collect 150 and go back to my rack. I progressively bet these hard ways, and I increased them as I increased my 6 and 8. And I had times where these bets here myself, I had these bets here at $300 each, at $420 each because of the rolls. And I was feeding guys at $300 levels. Again, that $300 bet would pay me $350. I was feeding. Let's say if I lost this bet here because it was an easy six. Let's say it was an easy six. I lost that bet there. I was feeding the hard ways $100 bets and taking this back to my rack. Guys, I hit this parlay so many times, or not even a parlay, but I hit it at the $100 level because I was playing aggressive here, feeding my hard way. And guys, I just kept feeding that hard way so much where I kept generating so much profit on back-to-back hard ways, on the hard ways, just because I was being aggressive up here in the box and feeding the hard way. This is probably my favorite way to play it. I love the hard way parlay, but playing the progressive bet where I'm feeding the cap. I'm feeding the $10, the $15, the $25. Or if I made up to a $200 bet, it's at $50. If I made up to a $300 bet, I'm at $100. I progressively increased my hard way. That way, when it did hit, it paid big time. Again, it's at a $50 bet. If I'm at $200 here, if I'm at a $50 bet, that pays me $450, right? That'll pay me $450. So what I would do is I'd take it up to a $100 bet and I'd collect the $400. So again, I love this way of playing. That way I'm getting that extra boost. I was getting that extra boost every single time. Guys, this is how I made over $12,000 just in one night. Now, I'm not going to say I made $12,000 for a whole cruise because I did it, right? I did give back money. And I'm not going to tell you this is a absolute winning system because every system can win, every system can lose. This time, it just so happened to really play in my favor the way I was putting these bets together and the way the rolls were coming out. I'm not going to tell you that there wasn't some PSOs. There was some PSOs when I started off at 330 on the inside, or $100 or $50 or whatever was on the 4 and 10. It happened, guys. Okay, I gave back some money, but in the long run, at the end, what I did was I brought a certain amount of money on the boat with me, right? And this is one thing I would advise for you. I brought a certain amount of money on the boat with me. I took some of that profit and I put the profit, how much I felt like saying, you know what, I'm okay with this right here, going home with me, and I'm only going to play with this set of money. So basically, I took my money that I brought me on the boat. I brought my profit that I felt was a good, sustainable amount, and then I played with the rest the entire week. And that's how I locked in my profit. I never lost everything and had to dig back into this original bankroll. Why? Because I set it aside, I forgot about it, I put it into the safe, I locked it up, and I only play with the excess play. And let me tell you, when you play with excess play, you can play as aggressive or really however you want to. I played it more aggressive. Once I got into the bigger bets and the bigger money that I'm playing with the casino money, I started going out there at $100 bets on the 4 and 10. That way, when it hit, either one, it paid me $200. I'd wait for the second hit, and now I'm getting $400 on the third hit, and now I'm really starting to feed my rack great money, guys. This is how I played. This is how I played in Biloxi. I'm a very aggressive bettor. This is how I played on my cruise this past week. Again, I love this style play, but I live and die by the roll of dice. I could have lost it all. I could have lost and played it. And there are chances where you will lose it all if you don't play it strategically. In this case, it worked out great for me, and I loved every minute of it. The last thing I'm going to say is you have to be cautious, okay? Here's what I'm going to say. Again, lady marked the point. She was playing aggressive on the inside. She would either go out there for 220, like I said. I'm gonna pull some of these chips back. She'd go out there for 220. Okay, so that would look like this right here, and she would take 2 hits, 2 hits and regress, 3 hits and regress. She always had the regression bet on the inside. I had to play that way because I wasn't regressing my bets here. I wasn't regressing my bets here until the third hit. So I had to make sure that some of that money was being brought back to the rack. And that's how she generated her money. And she was able to generate profit off that as well, especially off the long shooters where she colored up big time, guys. All right, guys, I hope you like this update. This is a little fun update of what happened to me on my last 2 big sessions, A, in Biloxi, how I played it out, and B, on the Carnival cruise that I just got off the celebration. Made great money both times, guys. I secured into profit, and I brought some home with me, which is always great to come home with more than you left with or more than you expected to win, for sure. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this content. If you have not subscribed, guys, and you like little updates like this, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Support the channel, guys. And I have not asked for this lately. Actually, I don't think I've ever asked for this, but if you want to join the channel to help support me, doing little videos like this, of doing little rollouts. I'm looking to go to Vegas to try to get some live content out there, and little things like that will help me along the way. If you want to join the channel, please do that and help me out there. If not, subscribe, like, comment down below. Until next time, mark the point, stay awesome.